Welcome back to this episode of the Low Bottom High Rise podcast with me, Moira Casaba. And this episode is an Ask Me Anything. This question gets me so fired up. So the question is, I feel like I've been doing everything in my business and I'm not moving forward. I can't figure out what is the struggle and what's holding me back. Can you help? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So I believe that there are two things holding everyone back from any goal that you want to accomplish in your life. And those two things are this: you are stuck in overthinking and you are not managing your time. And the beautiful thing is they go very much hand in hand. So if you have time to overthink, that means you're not managing your time, right? So all you got to do is catch yourself when you get stuck in overthinking, when you get stuck in the comparison game, when you're thinking about, a social media post for 30 minutes. I'll tell you first thing, it's not authentic if you're thinking about it for 30 minutes. It's meant to just be our authentic self. But when you get stuck in overthinking, if you're thinking about, I'll take this example, how you're supposed to word this conversation, how you're supposed to ask this question, how you're supposed to respond to this message, how you should write out this email. This is where time management comes in. If I know that I need to follow up with these 10 people from 9 to 9:30, and then I need to post on social media from 9:30 to 9:45, and then I need to respond to my emails from 9:45 to 10, right? So we're just gonna take that 1 hour block. If I am managing my time and I have it chunked down like that, and I'll give you my whole 5-minute magical time ninja process. I have so many videos on it, but let's say 30 minutes to follow up with 10 people, 15 minutes to create a social media post, 15 minutes to respond to my emails. If that is that schedule just for that 1 hour, what do I not have time for? I don't have time to really think about anything. I only have time to execute, right? As fast and as furiously as I can. So once you really tackle the time management thing, the overthinking problem goes away, right? You don't have time to think about it. I just recorded an amazing podcast episode with Daniel G. And we were talking about the same subject. He's like, when somebody comes up to me and they're saying to him, I've been thinking about maybe leaving the business or doing something else. He's like, I know they're on their way out. I know they're on their way out because if they are spending time thinking about switching positions, doing something different, then they're not working their business, right? So that is where your solution lies. You have to get a hold of your time. And I know there's a ton of people listening that are probably thinking, oh, did she really say that? Because I'm so terrible with my time. It's so hard for me to manage my time. I've got to give you a gut check and tell yourself to get over it. Time management is not hard. Time management is like first grade addition. 1 + 1 = 2. 2 + 2 = 4. It is elementary. It is elementary. Now, do you need to learn a couple things? Yeah, we didn't know how to, add numbers together until somebody taught us to, but it is that simple. So we, as 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds, need to get over ourselves when we're like, oh, but I'm so horrible at managing my time. Then get better at it, right? So this is my time hack system. I have a million videos, but it is this simple. Every single morning, I could grab a million pieces of paper that are literally right around on this counter. So I say, step number 1, chunk it. I write down every single thing I need to do, the emails, the social media, the doctor's appointments, the dentist appointments, the going to the grocery store, the picking up the dry cleaning, everything. You got to get it out of your brain onto a piece of paper so that you have space to execute, right? You have energy and clarity, and you're not burdened by all the to-do. So you chunk it into categories. This is my work stuff. This is my mom stuff. This is my fun stuff, right? These are my errands that I need to run. So I might have 3 or 4 different categories. That takes me a few minutes. Chunk it all down. Every single thing. Step number 1, chunk it all down. Step number 2, prioritize it, right? You just look at your work list and you go, the thing that's going to move my needle the most is this one. The second thing that's going to move the needle the most is this one. The third thing is this one. And then this one's probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Say I've got 3 hours to work my business. What do I do first? The most important thing. But I also time block it, right? So step number 2 is prioritize and time block. So I prioritize it. That's not rocket science, right? I can do that pretty quickly. But then I look at number 1 and I go, okay, that's going to take me 15 minutes. Number 2, that's going to take me 30 minutes. Number 3, that's going to take me 20 minutes too. And then I just look at the hours I got to work and I go, okay, pretty elementary. The first one's going to take me 15 minutes, so that's 9 to 9:15. The second one's going to take me 30 minutes, so that's 9:15 to 9:45. The third one's going to take me 15 minutes, so that's 9:45 to 10. And you hold yourself to the schedule. That is it. Third step, I know I said it was 3 steps. I always call it what, when. So that's the, time chunking it. So what are you doing when? And when is actually the key word. We can know what we got to do. We can have that list of 1,000 things. But if we aren't saying when we are doing it, guess what's happening? We're wandering around the kitchen. We're making a cup of coffee. We're folding some laundry. We're scrolling social media. Not when you're like, I got to do this from 9 to 9:15. I got to do this from 9:30 to 10. I got to do this from 10 to 11. You are racing your own clock. You should, as an entrepreneur, feel pressure to hold yourself to a schedule, right? If you're not doing that, you're not going to have that much success. So again, to recap, the 2 things holding you back in life, overthinking and lack of time management. Time management is simple. It's elementary. Once you get good at time management, you automatically get out of overthinking. You don't have time for it. And that's how you successfully execute on so much more. You end up getting done in 3 hours what used to take you a week. And I do want to recap because I think I mixed some numbers up. Step number 1, you chunk it all down, time management. Step number 2, you prioritize it. Step number 3, what, when. What are you doing, but when are you doing it? When are you doing it? Create the time blocks. That is going to change your life. It's not rocket science. You just got to do it every single day. Thank you. Oh, these questions get me fired up. Thanks for joining this edition of Ask Me Anything in the Low Bottom High Rise podcast. And I will see you next week.